Hello, this is Tom Still from the Wisconsin Technology Council. Thank you for joining us for today's edition of WisBusiness.com, the show. The show is produced by the Tech Council in partnership with WisBusiness.com and with the help of our sponsors, the Wisconsin Economic Development Corp and Exact Sciences. Hello again, Tom Still from the Tech Council. Well, I want to talk a little bit about some recent and upcoming events. April 15th, we held an Innovation Network luncheon at the Chippewa Valley Technical College featuring 5 leaders in regional higher education who discussed how their respective campuses were helping to bolster the economy. It's our third forum around this particular topic. And from building a trained workforce to conducting research and development projects or forging industry partnerships to other forms of collaboration, the region's higher education pillars are engaged in that larger economy in the Chippewa Valley. And from construction to healthcare and from utilities to Main Street businesses, sectors from across the region were there to hear about hands-on ways to connect. Here are the leaders who were there: Chippewa Valley Tech College, River Falls, Stout, Eau Claire, and Northwood Technical College. Great group to make that appearance. Coming up, April 22nd, we're going to talk about how medical research could be hit by NIH funding cuts. And medical research, as many people know, does things that really help average people every day, from diagnostics to devices to drugs and cures. And they all come out of the laboratory one way or the other. Joe Handelsman, who's director of the Wisconsin Institute for Discovery and a former White House science advisor, will outline how these proposed cuts in National Institutes for Health grants could stymie how such research takes place on campuses and beyond. This is April 22nd at our luncheon in Madison. Join us at One City Schools. That's 1707 West Broadway in Madison. And this is a great location, and it's been working out tremendously for us. So thank you and hope to see you there. Other things coming up. June 4th and 5th will be our Entrepreneurs Conference in Monona Terrace in Madison. Our ever popular golf outing will be July 22nd at the Oaks Golf Course in Cottage Grove. September 18th, our Wisconsin Women Reception will be held at Findorf Construction's headquarters in Madison. November 4th, and this is a new addition to our portfolio, the Wisconsin Innovation Awards will be held at the Monona Terrace in Madison. The following days, November 5th and 6th, our early stage symposium will take place, also at Monona Terrace. Business plan contest is steaming toward a close, which will take place at the Entrepreneurs Conference. Our judges narrowed that field of originally 150 or so entrants in late March. And we have another round of judging before the diligent dozen are selected to pitch at the Entrepreneurs Conference. That'll be exciting. Thanks to our 70-plus judges. And thanks to our great sponsors, including the WDC, we already have more prizes available than in 2024, and we'd welcome more. And if you have a prize you'd like to donate, contact Julie Johnson at 608-442-7557. You'll be glad to help. I write a weekly column called Inside Wisconsin, focusing on news and developments that often touch on Wisconsin's tech-based economy. It appears in newspapers and other platforms in Wisconsin and well beyond. Recent examples I've written about include tariffs, nuclear fusion, and the value of federal research to the Wisconsin economy. So if you want to see what topics have made the list so far, follow this link and please visit. Coming up, we're going to hear from Chris Yates, Abingdon Health USA. This is a UK company that is setting up shop in Madison. Hello again, this is Tom Still from the Wisconsin Technology Council. I'm here today with Chris Yates. He's the Chief Operating Officer for Abingdon Health, which is based in the UK. He's president of Abingdon USA, and we'll tell you more why that's really important. He was a co-founder of the company in 2008, and he holds a master's in economics from Cambridge University. And April 16th, there was a coming out party for Abingdon here in Madison, held at Element Labs in the University Research Park. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks, Tom. Great to be here.
Excellent. And welcome to the show. Welcome to Madison and Wisconsin. So first, tell us a little more about Abingdon. I know it's a publicly traded company, but one of the things that you specialize in and have really developed to some new levels over time would be lateral flow tests. Tell us how those are used. I think some people are familiar with COVID or pregnancy tests, but there are many other uses as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really delighted to tell you about Abingdon. Our mission at Abingdon is improving life by making rapid tests accessible to all. And the way we achieve that is through supporting customers taking projects from idea all the way through to commercial success. And we've built within Abingdon all the different pieces of the jigsaw that you need to take an idea and transfer that through development and scale it up to manufacture and ultimately commercialize it. And you're absolutely right. Lateral flow tests have been around for quite a while. So since the mid 80s, the first tests were pregnancy tests that people are probably familiar with. But actually, the technology has expanded out now into lots of different areas. So many aspects of the clinical market, so self-testing or point of care testing as well, animal health, plant pathogen, and environmental testing. And Abingdon's active in all of those areas, supporting customers bringing their products to market.
Excellent. And as I noted, I think you've really advanced this science in some interesting ways through Abington.
Yeah, absolutely. So firstly, we work with some amazing innovative companies that are bringing new technology to market within the lateral flow area. But also we support our customers through innovation as well. So we innovate and we work closely with customers. So a couple of examples of that are we've developed a smartphone app which reads lateral flow tests. So it takes away that subjectivity and actually records the result on the smartphone, and which can then be transferred to the cloud, and that's patent protected. And then secondly, we've done a lot of work actually. If everyone recalls, COVID tests and the plastic housings, we've done a lot of work innovating to replace that plastic housing with plant-based alternatives. So again, we look to innovate really to support our customers in bringing differentiated products to market.
Tremendous. Great progress. So tell us why the United States, and I think more specifically, why Madison. And if you could describe the ecosystem you see here from afar, I think it would be helpful for others who wonder what Madison and Wisconsin have to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. So, firstly, I mean, the US is the largest market within medtech. It counts for about over 40% of the global market. So it's an absolutely important market to be in. Interestingly, Abingdon, from our base in York, has already built a substantial customer base within the US. Around 45% of our customers are actually based in the US already. So we've established a decent footprint from afar, if you like, already. And then the third element I would point to just from a kind of US point of view is in many cases, we recommend our customers, whether they're based in the UK, in Europe, or in Asia, to target the US market first. From a regulatory point of view, it's actually the most straightforward market to focus on. And in fact, if you meet the requirements under the FDA, for example, for clinical tests, you will pretty much meet the requirements in many other jurisdictions globally as well. So that's the first element. Is from a US point of view, it's the key market globally. In terms of Madison, there's a number of factors. So the first is it has a very well-established biotech community. Some leading businesses are based here in the city and the state. Secondly, it's got world-class university medical school. It's got a highly skilled workforce because of that ecosystem that's already built. And I think the fourth element is we found the community here really including yourself, Tom, really engaging in supporting us, building our operation here in Madison. So we're delighted to be here. I think also culturally, actually, Madison fits very much with Abingdon as a business and also our roots in York in the UK. We very much work in partnership with customers. We very much take a long-term approach, and there feels to be a really great cultural fit between Abingdon's culture that we've built so far and what exists here in Madison as well.
As you noted, Abingdon is based in Yorkshire, which, by the way, is a dairy center
Yeah.
in England. So, as you know, there's a thriving dairy sector here, as well as many other things involving animal and plant health. And tell us how maybe some of the things you're doing with lateral flow tests and other advancements could intersect with what's going on in the farm economy here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, so You're right. So Abingdon actually acquired a business that was previously a spin out from the UK government, which was focused on plant pathogen testing. So we've got a long heritage in developing and manufacturing plant pathogen tests, so things like Phytophthora, Ralstonia, potato virus, but also we've built a very strong presence in the animal health market. Lateral flow technology is very flexible. You know, it can be used on farm, it can be used by vets. And we've got a number of tests that are commercialized within the animal health area. And I think it's an interesting time actually within these sectors at the moment. So if you think of environmental change, that's creating a lot of challenges around disease and actually that impacts both plant and animal health. And so we're seeing quite a lot of change there, which requires monitoring and testing. And also, there are a number of crossover diseases that you see. Avian flu is probably the one at the moment that is causing the most alarm. It's present in the US in the dairy industry, and it's also present in the UK. In Yorkshire recently, there's been an outbreak. So, lateral flow has a key role to play actually in allowing rapid testing and rapid intervention, and also surveillance for within the animal health as well as the human health industry.
Well, thanks again, Christopher Yates, for being with us. And again, April 16th, they were able to have a bit of a coming out party at University Research Park in Madison. And I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more from you, both on the human side and the animal side. By the way, we have everything from potatoes to ginseng here. So you already know about the dairy. So thanks so much, and look forward to seeing you again soon.
That's great. Thanks very much, Tom. Thank you.
Thanks again to our sponsors, the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation and Exact Sciences. We'll see you next time.